Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about some minimalism tips and how to stop impulse buying and to buy with intention. So I am not a minimalism channel necessarily, nor do I claim to be a hardcore minimalist or anything like that. I would call myself a casual minimalist. Like every now and then I like to splurge a little bit, but generally speaking, if you ask anyone close to me, they will tell you that I very rarely buy things. I know that seems a little bit hard to believe because I do have a few videos on here that are hauls, but a lot of my hauls are things that I collected over, honestly, sometimes years that I just show all at once. So they're more like collection videos rather than a haul. So first and foremost, I just want to say if you do have an impulse buying habit, that is totally okay and understandable. Society is literally built to make us want more, to always make us want more stuff or to improve on ourselves in some kind of way. A lot of marketing and business has to do with psychology, and they tap into that part of the human psyche that is insecure, that feels that they need more, that FOMO part of us. They find a way to lock into your brain and convince you that you need that thing and that there's never going to be enough. So how to stop impulse buying is recognize it when it's happening and nip it in the bud. And here are just some of the tips that I keep in mind on how I do that. So when I'm about to impulse buy something, the first thing I ask myself is, am I trying to fill some kind of void? Oftentimes we impulse buy because just like impulsive eating, it feels good for a short period of time. It's a quick fix, instant jolt of happiness to numb the pain and fill the void. Whatever it is that you're going through, ask yourself, is this item actually going to fix it? I mean, 90% of the time, no. But even further from that, do you even want that item, or are you just sad? If you do just happen to be sad or depressed, that is okay. The first step is recognizing it and acknowledging it. Then you can move from there. You can find ways to make yourself feel better that are more holistic and have nothing to do with material impulse buying. You can call a close friend or someone that you trust. You can journal your feelings, write it out. You can express yourself creatively, like draw or paint. You can just feel your feelings. You can literally just cry it out, let yourself be sad for a while, and then pick up the pieces when you feel better. Just know that buying something is only going to relieve that sad feeling very temporarily. The next thing to keep in mind next time you're thinking of impulse buying something is, and I know this is something that a lot of people are guilty of, myself included sometimes, where the price is just too good to resist. You're like, I'm saving money, it's on sale now, and it's like buy one, get one, or it's 50% off, 70% off, whatever it is, you think to yourself, I'm saving money. If I let this go, once again, that FOMO part of your brain is like, oh, I should have bought it because it was so cheap. If I don't jump on this now, I'm gonna regret it. Whether you buy something on sale or regular price, you are always spending money. You are never actually saving it. Just more or less amount, but at the end of the day, you are still spending, you are still getting poorer, and these big company giants are just getting richer. The next point is, do you actually see yourself wearing it or using it, etc.? So for example, if it's an article of clothing or if it's a piece of home decor, does it actually match your overall aesthetic, and is it something that you can see yourself grabbing realistically? So try not to buy things for your fantasy ideal life, but for your actual life. When it comes to home decor stuff, a lot of the times I will see something in store and I really do love pink, but I'm very particular about the shade of pink that I like. And sometimes if I just see like a pink home decor item in store, I'm like, ooh, I kind of want to impulse buy that. But what I actually do is I keep a photo of my apartment and especially my bedroom handy on my cell phone. Sometimes I even keep it as my phone background so that I can refer to it instantly and be like, that's not the shade of pink that matches, or it's too big, or whatever it is, it's not my aesthetic. and then it's very easy to just disregard it. This has helped me so many times. The next point is similar to the first point, where it's like, do you actually want this item, or it's just new and exciting? So it's like, oh, that's like fun to want something, right? But this is something that I have done all my life, which is that I take a picture of the thing if I can, and then I take a mental note of it, and I also write it in a wish list. And then wait a day, 2 days, a week, even a month if you can, and see how excited you still are by that particular product. Does it still spark joy? Or are you kind of just like, meh? Or are you like, oh, I forgot I even put it on my wish list. That's how much I just don't care about that item anymore. But you have to see how much you actually like it after you've taken some time to really think about it, spend some time away from it. Distance does make the heart grow fonder. And if you can spend as long as you possibly can wait, so up to like a month without that thing, sometimes I've waited years for things and I still think about it, then you know you actually want it versus it's just an impulse buy. Speaking of wish lists, another thing I love to do, because I just happen to be a very visual person, I love to make mood boards, sort of like a collage on Photoshop of all the things that I want, and just seeing things like visually side by side on a big collage like that will tell you which ones spark more joy versus others. The next tip I have is don't settle. So I find myself so many times settling when it comes to shopping. So for example, let's say I'm looking for a red plaid skirt, and it has to have hints of green in it, and it has to be knee length, okay? So I'll go to the mall and I'll see tons of red plaid skirts, and some of them are down to the thigh. Some of them, the red color is a little bit more of a fire truck red than I would prefer. Some are too maroon. Some have everything perfect, but there's like a weird buckle thing on it that I could do without. Sometimes if the price is right and it's close enough, I just find myself settling for it. But whenever I do that, I find that the next time I go out, I'm still like kind of shopping for that perfect plaid dress. Because I know deep down, the one I settled for with like the weird buckle thing, let's say, I don't actually want that buckle thing. And you will fixate on it too. Things look the most appetizing and appealing in the store. So if you already are feeling kind of meh about it in the store, once you purchase it and bring it home, you're gonna feel completely like even more meh about it, because you don't have all the nice lighting and all the mannequins and the people and the salespeople sort of influencing you to buy that item. It's just you and the item in your house, and you're like, why did I buy this? So yes, definitely don't settle. There will always be more plaid skirts, there will be more sweaters, there will be just more of everything. More deals, better deals. As long as humans are on this earth, there's always going to be more things to buy, I feel. So this next tip is very, very next level type A OCD personality, which is me. So you don't have to do this one. I understand it's very unrealistic. But in a lot of ways, I am very minimalistic and I find joy in doing this. I don't personally know anyone else that does this, but you are free to join me in this if it interests you. So basically what I like to do is I create a very long Photoshop file of all the particular things that I have for any given category. So basically all the purses that I own, every time I get a new purse, I take a picture of it and I add it to this list. So I have a visual picture of every single purse I have at a glance. And it's sorted by bag type. It's crazy. I will insert pictures here just to give you an idea. Once again, you do not have to do this. I understand this is crazy OCD and time consuming, but it really helps me out. Like for example, if I'm like, ooh, you know, I really want that black crossbody bag. But then I will refer to my list and I will scroll through and see that I actually have like 3 bags that right there that are very similar to the one that I'm looking at. So I'm like, oh, you know what? It's not different enough from 3 of them that I already have to justify purchasing. So it's actually saved me so much money doing this. I also have one for shoes and plushies. Yeah, I know, I'm kind of crazy. Doing this will also reignite the love you have for some of your old items and remind you of the ones that you forgot about, that you actually really love. Similarly, if you clean your closet regularly, it also forces you to physically touch and come in contact with some of the items that you haven't worn in a while, in terms of clothing at least. The same can be said for if you're someone who impulse buys figurines or collectibles or things like that. If you go into your collectibles bookshelf and you look through all your old books or figurines or toys that you already have, you will remember, oh, I don't actually need that one on my wish list because I have so many similar ones already. And the last tip that I personally like to keep in mind for myself is that if something seems like a really good price, I personally have found that the sale price is pretty much just the actual real price of what that item is worth. So for example, sometimes I'll see a dress that is regular price $65, but it regularly goes on sale for like $17. Any person would look at that and go, wow, what a contrast from 65 to 17. That's an insane deal. It's so worth it. Quality must be that of a $65 item, but I'm getting it for a fraction of the price. Wow, I'm getting a steal. I personally find that usually the quality is made for that of like a $17 item. They just jack up the price to fool people so that when they put it on sale, it seems like you're getting a good deal. So try to keep that in mind. It's something I've noticed for many years. And it's so sketchy. All right, so those are all of the minimalism tips that I have when it comes to impulse buying and how to shop intentionally. Pretty much I'm at a point in my life where almost everything in my apartment I absolutely love, or at least like very much. And if I don't like it, then I will either donate it, gift it, or sell it. So I hope this video was helpful to you. It's definitely not something that you can do overnight. It takes a long time to garner this level of self-control when it comes to shopping. For me personally, it's never been that hard just because I grew up in a household where someone was a hoarder, and I don't know if anyone out there can relate to this, but when you grow up with a hoarder, I find that it just scares you and makes you either adopt that habit and become a hoarder as well because it's what you grew up with, or you do the inverse, which is kind of my experience, where I'm so turned off by clutter and just triggered by it that I did the inverse, and I'm super minimal about what I buy and super intentional about what I buy. So I hope that this video was helpful to you and you can refer to it whenever you're thinking of buying something impulsively. Please let me know if it helped you out and if you liked these tips. And if there's any more that you can think of, feel free to share them in the comments down below. I'd love to know what goes through your guys' mind when you're trying to convince yourself to not impulsively buy something. And I'm sure everyone else watching this video would be happy to hear more tips as well. So please feel free to share yours in the comments as well. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If it was helpful to you, then please give it a like. Please also subscribe to my channel to join my cozy little corner here on YouTube. It would truly mean the absolute world to me to have you join my family here. So thank you once again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!